than me because, quite frankly, the house is a lot cleaner when you look at me, except for that bit there and that bit there and that bit there. But I'll get onto that. Tip this into the stuff. By the way, guys, do you ever use the laundry tablets? Because it's a waste. I've made this smaller to try and convince us to use the laundry tablets. It's just like caustic soda and some other things in there. And they put some red power dots on the tablets to make you think that it's going to do something. It doesn't. It does nothing. The power dots do nothing. Right. I think I've said my piece. Right. We're going to go out in 5 seconds. Just got to use the appropriate tools for the job. There we go. You know what my father used to say? Oh, good hard work, I could watch it all day. That really annoyed me. He's probably watching now. Hope your pancreas gets better, Dad. That's true. I'm not trying to be mean. Yeah. The family's had a bad run. Oh, no, the family's had a good run. The family's had a brilliant run, as a matter of fact, because we've all gotten all sorts of really potentially fatal diseases and not gotten fatals by them. Statistically, anomalous it is. I tells ya it is. It's an anomaly. There we go. Leave this in, power, push the button until maybe something happens, and start. That's the dishwasher. Hopefully that doesn't shut the power down. Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Dr. Phil here, and I am not at all driven wild by the amount of work that I have to do. That was a lie. Right, drinky poo. I'll get a... What kind of jumper shall I get on today? Because it's a bit of a it's a bit warmer, but it'll be colder later. We'll make a decision later. Let's have a look out here. I'll just put that jacket on. That'll do. Have a look over here. We've got Loki here eating her dinner. Aren't you, Loki? That's right, you're eating your dinner. Scratchy poos with a hand that holds the camera. Yep, there we go. There we go. Gotcha. Wasn't that lovely? She's like, that's not a scratch, that's barely a touch. Okay, hang on. I've got to hold, because I'm holding a drink, Loki. Here we go. Yoink. The obligatory scratch across the face and the eye. They don't seem to care. Once again, I have to reiterate, I don't deliberately do it. They just kind of drag their eye across and you go, that's got to hurt. The hole's not supposed to be poked into. Max, do you want a scratchy poo or you just want to eat? Scratchy poo? Ooh. There you go. My grip on the camera is precarious, so that's why we're having a bit of an issue. It's like bird cam, there we go. Shaky cam. Yoink, look. Pop that there. Yoink. Yeah, here we go, boing. Alright. I've cleaned out the cages. Doesn't look like I've cleaned out the cages, but I have. I'm going to turn this off because that's my secret weapon. Basically, when it comes to sweeping and stuff, I put the fan on and it blows all the air down there, and as you sweep, everything gets accumulated over there. I'm not going to show you what just accumulated though. Nah. Life is tough sometimes. Cheers. Hello, Mr. Jumper. I'll put you on. If you're not used to the channel, prepare for a lot of anthropomorphism. Hello, anthropomorphism. How are you doing? I'm doing very well. Should see Max. He's looking at me going, he's flipped early. Also, jumpers are his worst nightmare. When I first got in, I didn't have very much. I had just a blanket and a bird box. Actually, it was a cat box. I didn't realise what a bad state he was in, and so basically I wrapped him in a towel and put him into the box, and ever since then he's hated anything to do with cloth. And you can see he's going, you're wearing that thing that is awful and evil. Don't you dare do that. Don't you go near me with the awful evil thing. Hard to please him. It's hard to please him. Right, so the place is a little bit more in order, but it's still getting there. You'll have to just forgive me for that one. I'll put the... we've got the hearts happening and a third like. Thank you very much for all the people who like, because I like the people who like, because it's likable for me to like the likes. Okay, I'm flipping this. Here we go. So now Adele very kindly said he's got this amazing thing built in the back garden. Yep, it is an amazing thing from one perspective, but it's very generous of her to refer to it as amazing. It's more like a monstrosity, I think, sometimes. And keeping it up and running is a bit of a nightmare. But here we go. That won't work. Will that work? There we go, cool. Good news, I've bought a new phone and it's got higher resolutions. So I think it went into New Year's with a good plan. Isn't that what they mean by higher? I've already used up my dad joke in another stream, I'm afraid. Just getting the thing. So the aim of the game here is to cut opals, make them shiny, not annoy people. That's actually harder than it sounds. I've got me here a new disc. We're going to have to use the disc because this guy is cactus. Well, it's diamond impregnated on metal, but it's also cactus. It's a hard meta concept to understand. It does my head in every time. So. And the hearts are still going. Someone's fallen asleep with their hand on the heart. And the love is still flowing. And wonder if music will play a part. Bum, 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 bum. I tell you what though, it's really nice just to have all the love flowing. I was thinking, you know, when I was doing YouTube stuff before, it's like, you can take your stinking hearts and like, no, you're not like that. You just go, oh, they love me, they really love me. So I'll give you like 15 hours to stop, I reckon. Stopped. Telling you I liked it. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. There we go. T34. Hello. And goodbye. Make sure that you see your carousel, T34. People who know what T34s are understand. So we've got this little pile here of opals. We've got this little thing here. We're going to have to do the thing first because when I was in the middle of the stream, I really should have just replaced the whole thing, but I'd already embarked in my head on a plan, and so I was just going on the plan, which was not a good plan. Plan. But don't worry, we have a modified plan, which is equally not good. One of them is try and open a packet. Apparently, I can't open packets. Grab pliers, then open packet. Apparently, I can't use pliers. This is very much like the Opal Cutters version of There's a Hole in My Bucket. There's a hole in my logic, dear Liza, dear. Finally got it. There's a hole in my logic, dear Liza, a hole. Welcome to the chat, T34, and goodbye to the chat, T34, from the sounds of things. So, everyone like and subscribe to him, because, or her, we can't judge. Where if I put the thing? The thing should be here somewhere. We'll probably be doing that one today. There we go. One last thing and we're ready to go. And where is the one last thing? Huh. Meh, 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 meh. Can use that one, I reckon. Because it's not really a case of exact suitability. It's a case of sort of suitability. You just need to be able to put it in the spot. You need to be able to put it in the hole. Don't anyone be rude. Oh, you can be rude. I don't care. Now, here we go. Boing, 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 dun, 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 dun. Ah, yes, that's the tricky bit. Breathing oxygen, I find, because like all the guidelines, like be polite to people. Who here is not actually polite to people? Like there's one in a million, and if they're incapable of being polite to people, they're probably also incapable of reading. So you know, what's the point? Yeah. But I thought that breathing oxygen is actually quite a good, handy piece of advice. Also, knowing how your Dremel works is a good one too. There we go. You can use a mouse one-handed. Why can't you use a Dremel one-handed? Okay, here we go. I don't know. Look, I'm not going to go all critical of YouTube like I might do an awful lot. But what they say is safety heuristics for their sake, not ours. And the safety heuristics don't work. I think I've explained it before. Because in 1972, I think there was a car called the Ford Pinto. Now, the Ford Pinto was a wonderful piece of technology. Actually, it wasn't a wonderful piece of technology. It was a piece of technology that occasionally worked and occasionally didn't result in fiery extinction of life events. So if you've survived your trip in the Ford Pinto, you were one of the minority. It wasn't that bad. But you see, the problem was that the executive said, you know what, we like our money and we've decided that the cost of a human life is thus, we will pay out the insurance settlements or whatever else rather than fix the problem. Now, that's a very good and sound financial decision, but as a human being, that's a terrible decision. And the courts agreed with that assessment, that it was a terrible decision, and they made them pay a lot of money in compensation and fines and things. And what I've done is I've decided that that defence is not good. There you go, I said it. The defence itself is not good, it's self-serving, and I've called it the Pintoberg defence. It's a portmanteau of the Nuremberg trials and the Pinto case. Just so that people get the general gist that this is not a trivial matter. It's this very serious matter when a corporation puts your safety at risk because they think they can make an extra buck or two. And I made it deliberately easy to access so that whenever somebody does that to you, go, the Pintenberg defense. Now, the reason that it's good is because every time you say that's the Pintenberg defense, I've also calculated how much it costs the company. And what you'll find is every utterance of that Pintenberg defense ultimately costs the company $70,000. I've calculated it all out. So every time you hear that, you go, that's $70,000 you're going to pay eventually. It's just a good way of keeping them honest. Well, it's a way of keeping them honest. The trolley problem, yes, except the trolley doesn't catch fire and then rely on people just getting paid off. Now, would you believe I have put down the disc and I don't know where I've put it. Problem being, I've only got one of them. Where have I put it? Over here, over here, over here. Nope, nope, nope. Right, so here is where everything was. That's an amazing thing. I think I need to sing that song. Soy on the bathroom floor. I'm a loser, baby. I can't find a thing. I can't find a thing now. No, not that one. Not there, not there, not there. Or is it that one? No, it's not that one. I got a bad batch. They have, these guys here have one side that keeps coming off. I don't think that's in the design. Here we go. Just pop the washer back on. The world's tiniest washer. No problem there. Is it on? Hopefully. Yay, it's on. Now the collet is on. Well, it's getting exciting over here. I don't know what you guys are doing. G'day, Bailey. How you doing? Haven't seen you in a yonk and a half. It's very similar to the Chewbacca defense. The point about it is that if you make these things official, so to speak, then they're called heuristics, and you can combat them. If you don't know about them, you can't. ChatGPT, for example, is absolutely full of heuristics. The one that I really love / is what I call the dead parrot defense, in which it latches onto something that something you didn't ask and just cannot get away from that thing. So it's just like that John Cleese dead parrot sketch. It's not dead, it's just resting. It's dead, it has ceased to be. It is an ex-parrot. It's rolled up the curtain and joined the choir invisible. What else? Coke bottle glasses. I've hijacked that from, the slur against the blind to say that it's looking at something through a corporate view. Have you ever heard them talk about optics before? Because optics is one of those things. Shareholders' interest is literally the Pintenberg defense. So I was acting in the shareholders' interest. That was just like some other people going, I was just following orders. Doesn't hold water. The one I really like is the 7-Eleven defense. The 7-Eleven defense is where, in the United States especially, if someone goes and robs a 7-Eleven and they bring a mate and that mate gets hurt, or the mate hurts somebody else, they're fully accountable for it. And the funny thing is that there's all these corporate instruments that make sure that a corporation isn't accountable for the damage they do. I think, well, no. 7-Eleven says no. All right, so let's turn this on. Oh yeah. They certainly are. They're straightened out. I can do a little bit about it. I've tried to stiffen up the flex tool, but there's only so much you can do. So in case you're wondering, guys, when Black Chicken said that the bearings are loving life, that's his way of saying the bearings are begging for death's sweet release. So just do some more water in. Indeed. Well, we need to get some good at that mistake. What about, I don't know, space? Ah, yes. Okay. Theoretically, I do lives a lot earlier, except I never get round to it. And sometimes it's 2 or 3 a.m. Technically, I work and stuff, and I try to do lives a little bit earlier. I never do. So this is an exception, I know. But I try to do this. So it took me a while to figure out what you're talking about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this all the way down the middle, because that's actually the most efficient way to find out what's going on. Very good feel. Potentially, but not today, so move on to another one. it's only on level 2. You wait till we really get going. Here's my best guess at straightening out the Opal. Picking it up a little bit for your sake. I need to get this kind of in the zone, so I'll just take this top off. I mean the top of the Opal, not. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. I don't know why they didn't take the sand off in the first place, because one of the first things you do is stabilise. In order to stabilise, you take sand off. So I may as well see what's underneath. See if I can figure out a way to do it well. Bad Opal. No longer the Mexican jumping Opal, it's just gets unceremoniously dragged onto the ground. Right, but can you come back here? The thing's not dangerous, but I'd rather not reach around the blade. Separation there. Let's have a look. Right. To this side, I'll show this to you in a second. Just checking it myself. Alright, so that's the first bit, tiny little chunk. This is the second bit. Now the bit we're still interested in is over here, I think. There's a very slight amount of colour just there. Hard to spot, but it is there. So this is the last chance to do it right now. What I'm now doing, I'm smoothing off the edges. That's the easiest way to see if there's something you missed. What you're trying to do now is try and figure out the best way to get this colour out. There is colour here, it's just hidden. doing now is I'm just trying to reorient the crystal. This modification is in the next class of starship. That always comes to my head. Why does it do that? Leave you to ponder that one. Okay, so this is the bit that wins or loses. Let's very quickly take this part off. Here. Face it to the correct kind of angles. 91. A lot of people here tonight. I know it looks. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start making the making it into a teardrop. Even though it just looks like a black piece of potch, it's definitely got colour in it. Now if I cut it any further, I'm going to cut through it. So, look, 218. Thank you, guys. I cut any further, I'm actually going to cut through the precious opal. So I've got to be a bit cautious. Hello there, cut fella. Cut beautifully. In English, I presume. Now I know it doesn't look like much, but it is. Well, hopefully anyway. If I cut it right, it'll show some fire when I do the proper polishing. I'll show that to you. That one there, believe it or not, hopefully it's going to be alright. Same material, we'll do another one. It's not the same material. Aha, this one. Okay, look, I think this is the one I did last time. If that's the case, there's a piece that I need to get to. Right, here we go. Don't think we're going to need here. Right. Here. Here's where the opal's lying. Hopefully you'll be able to get it. That small white line that's just there has got colour in it. Nor ask for that. What you saw there was evidence I was overheating the stone. Not happy, but we'll try. We'll see what we can. So we've got another top structure. Cool. I'll happily turn this into a drop. Japon K. How you doing, mate? Very curious about this one. Let's just take this bit off. Now in fact, we'll take it off. We'll formally take it off for the rest of us. Just turning it down so I don't overheat the tube. Just checking to see if there's any issues. Everything feels alright. Right, let's go. I don't know what to say about that. Hello there, Nurello. Oh no, that looks awesome. So let's just... Get something like that again. Look at that. Now it's not coloured, but that is astoundingly beautiful. Guys, that's the only Opal that I've ever seen like that, so I'll keep it like that. It's absolutely smashing. That's about 12 to 20 carats to particular stone, so yeah, right. We're going for the magnum opal soon. Hoping you saw that flash of blue because that's what I'm going for here. stone. See if we can get it working. That's what I'm going for. One more. That's what right, thank you. So there's some colour in here. You can see it. A few greens are poking through. So see you in a second. I love these kinds of opals because they don't... Did you see that? Oh yeah. Oh, look at that. See that? Oh yeah. Oh, this one's a beauty. This one's a beauty. This one's an absolute miracle gem. Oh, it's a 1 in a million. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. I guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, this does not happen every day. Look at that. that. What a winner that is. Oh, ho, 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 ho. That's like 10 carats of wall-to-wall collar. That is a note to end on. Look at that. That is just astonishing. What a perfect little gem. What I'll do now is I will show it to you with my eyes, because I can put the colour enhance on too. Haven't even bothered with that. Retouch is on. Let's have a look. If you have a look at it with my kind of eyes, you'll see why I'm pretty happy. Look at that. It's a monster. It's an absolute monster. That is a good gem. You just don't get that every day. You just don't. Very happy. That's a full... It's not quite a mosaic pattern. It's getting pretty close to it though. Going to have to get that sand off it. It's going to be a very delicate operation getting it ship shape, but it is certainly an amazing gem. That is just an... Oh, so good. So good. Green on blue on red. Look at it. It's so good. Oh. Look at it. It's like 10 carats. That's thousands. That's thousands of dollars. Oh boy. What a smasher. What an absolute smasher. Okay, what's going on, birds? Alright, let's... Oh, tired. What did you do? Hello. I'm just going to get... Yes, I am. Just
okay.
off now.
I was just asking because I'm a bit sickly at the moment, so...
That's all good. Right, got my drinky boo. Now, Max, do you want to get out, or if you had enough of being out? Max looks tired.
Cutie. Father, I'll let you finish.
Yes. Flip round. Max, you want to scratch your poo? You want to scratch your poo? Okay. Here we go. There you go. There you go. Lovely little scratchy poo. Lovely little scratchy poo. Now, of course, Max is a wild cockatoo. Well, was, we think. Got captured and had his wings clipped, so we never found out if he was tame or not, which is a bit of a shame, so we're keeping him as best we can. The best way to describe him is not pet, but co-resident. Cute little fella. And as you can see, they don't normally accept scratches from random strangers. So it is quite an honour. Sorry about that, mate. Quite an honour to get trusted by someone like him. And sorry about the jump scare, guys. He's still a little bit jumpy. This one's another one got rescued from the jaws of a cat. And so she was a chick at the time, so she doesn't care. She just loves us unconditionally. Max does in his own way. At the moment, he's regretting everything. You're sitting there going, I bitted him and now he's gone and he's scratching Loki. No! There you go. Finally, over here. Well, actually, flip round. Flip round, I said. There we you go. Good. Can watch them. Are you ready? Are you ready? Here we go. Like and subscribe! Like and subscribe! My ring! Like and subscribe!
I expected Honey to be a bit less shrill.
Yeah, well, you see, you saw that my lips did not move at all, didn't they? You see, I can swear on the grave of Bill Gates. Yeah, that's prophetic, isn't it? But I swear on the grave of Bill Gates that wasn't my lips. Wrong lips. Anyway.
Ew.
It wasn't my lips moving, it was the bird that was speaking, and so therefore...
To be fair, Pony's lips weren't moving either, because she doesn't have any.
That's true. So it's fate, it's destiny, it's all of the things. So if she said to like and subscribe, well, clearly you have to like and subscribe. What I would say is, ladies and gentlemen, it's been good. Did you see that opal? It's amazing. You can see my shiny eyes. I'm going, yeah, great. So, had a great day. The birds had a great day. Pony's just staring at me from the top of her cage.
No,
She's cursing me at the moment.
Yeah.
So she shook and there was a cloud of
Plumage. I would get that off you if you could bear me being centimetre nearer than you.
Anyway, that's the end of the show. Whatever we call this, the end of the live stream. How about that? Have a lovely evening or morning if you happen to be somewhere else in the world. Dr. Phil out. Boing.